Gamze and I'm the marketing manager at KSEYE, a specialist property lender offering hybrid buy-to-let and bridging loans. Today we have Cy Nathan, mortgage manager at Dynamo, joining us. Hi Cy, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
Should we jump in?
Let's go for it.
Firstly, congratulations on winning Best Broker for Buy-to-Let at the British Mortgage Awards. How important are awards in building credibility and trust with your clients?
I think in this day and age, a little bit of recognition goes a long way with our clients. I think we work in an environment where it's that trust element, right? So if you're getting recognised by your peers within the industry, I think a lot of clients buy into it as well. Where I work with a lot of high net worth clients as well, to show that hopefully they're working with one of the best in the industry, just means that I get more referrals through the network.
Absolutely. One of the ways you stand out within the industry is by being very active on LinkedIn. What do you see as the advantages of having a strong online presence?
For me, LinkedIn, the main reason I use LinkedIn is for relationship. I think it's important to highlight some of the good work that a lot of brokers do, and also lenders, solicitors. So kind of building that relationship stronger. So when you go to a networking event, you see peers within the industry. So for me, LinkedIn is a great source to grow that network and brand.
Before you joined Dynamo, you were with Barclays for a number of years. What made you make the switch from the banking sector to the mortgage advice sector?
This is an interesting question. So when I was at Barclays, of course, I dealt with prime lending, what you say, vanilla lending. So when we used to see a direct debit from a more specialist lender, I used to always question, is a client in difficulties or fault? But because I really didn't understand the specialist market, right? But then also one of my friends worked as a broker, and they said to me, actually, the market's bigger than the top four banks, you should really come to specialist side. So I started understanding a little bit more about that, went out of banking for a while and came in and thought it's a great market to be in, so that's why I moved in.
In your role at Dynamo, how important is it to maintain relationships with lenders like KSEYE?
It's vital in the current climate as well, as we know. Having that relationship could mean of getting a deal through, and also having that kind of relationship, speaking that case through. It's vital at the moment. So for me, it's a big must. And if I'm using a lender, it's all due to relationship. Pricing at the moment, margins are roughly the same, so it's all down to that.
What's the most important thing that clients can do to help Dynamo find the best source of finance to meet their needs?
I think from the beginning, I always say, be honest with your circumstance. For us to be able to understand and marry up the kind of products and services available to them, they need to be open and transparent of what they're trying to achieve as well over the initial period, and also over their long-term goals, right? So if they want to go into property development, but they haven't really done it before, it's just trying to guide them through that process as well. So again, with trying to grow a portfolio, so it's just trying to gain understand.
Dynamo's website talks about how technology has made for a streamlined process for borrowers. How has this improved in your time with Dynamo?
Tech, I think, has improved across the industry. I think COVID helped with that big time, right? We're seeing that with solicitors, with lenders, and even ourselves. I think previously with processing document, a lot of that we wanted originals, whereas now I think working in collaboration with a lot of lenders, we understand actually the day and age we work in. For example, bank statements, a lot of it's digitalised. We don't ask for bank statements now, paper copy. So I think we've changed a lot. We've had to evolve, and I think the industry's evolved at the same time, so it's great.
When you receive a complicated inquiry, how do you determine which specialist lender might be the best fit for it?
Again, it's really understanding the client profile, what they're trying to achieve, and marrying that up with the right solution, with the right lender. Because sometimes, a ex-lender might not like that kind of asset that we're trying to lend on, i.e. a commercial, whereas another lender might have an appetite. So really, that's what I mean, going back to your question previously, building on that relationship, understanding the changes in the market, and then being able to, tie that up with our client.
When you are working with a lender, what is the most important consideration between rates, fees, customer service, and the speed at which finance can be provided?
That's a tricky question, again, depending on what it is. So if it's bridging, definitely, speed is vital, as we know, if it's an auction purchase. But at the end of the day, it's also down to customer service as well. Because if you could deliver the end product to the client, but if they're not satisfied through the client journey, then you're going to probably lose them as well. So understanding that from both sides and being able to deliver. Pricing, as we know, everyone's price sensitive, but at the end of the day, the clients that we deal with, they want to get onto the end goal and move on to the next project. So if there's only a marginal difference in pricing, that's not going to affect it. It's more about the delivery and the service.
What do you think KSEYE's strengths are when you introduce a client to us?
I think KSEYE's got a great team across the board. I think if you look at the case handlers, underwriters, and the senior management team, I think they all understand it. I think it's kind of, it words is customer centric. I think they get it. I think they put the their self in the client's position as well. From a broker side, it's nice that I'm able to pick up the phone and make sure things get done, and that's why I'll be able to deliver when I use KSEYE. So it's been a great journey so far.